Two.
Hello,
Hey,
everyone. Happy Halloween. Welcome to a special event. We're going to be reading from a new released book that we'll talk more about. But my name is Aki,
I'm
and
Rachel.
And I'm Emma. And we're one, two, three. The Wild Ride.
oh, I'm sorry.
The Wild Ride Collective. Um, and yeah, I started the Wild Ride Collective in 2019 after my mom passed away. And it's been like many, many things, but Aki and Rachel have both pretty much been here since day one. And in general, it's the vision is to support ourselves and each other and our communities engaging in what we call psycho-spiritual cleanup work, or PSCU, which is what our book is about. It's this practice that we engage in where we discern stories we've inherited or created about ourselves from what is genuinely true about us. And so we hope that this book can be a tool for you to, this is Ty, to really engage in that work, both on your own, in your relationships, in your close partnerships, and in as a global citizen, as a participant in the world.
And so I think a lot of that work is related to seeing like the world that we kind of came into and deciding what from that was useful and what are the new worlds that we want to create. And so as part of that, we had this idea back in 2020 to have an art show called Apocalypse Blossom. It's kind of seeing like what can grow out of the compost pile of all these things that are falling apart and breaking down. And apparently the apocalypse was right on schedule because our show was planned for April of 2020. And as we all know, we were hit with the coronavirus pandemic and went into lockdown around that time. So we had to cancel our art show, but we still had a lot of momentum and had done a lot of work already that we wanted to still share with the world. So we decided to create this book that could compile a lot of those ideas that we were working with.
Yeah, so the book Apocalypse Blossom is a workbook, and it was kind of a way I believe we navigated through the pandemic, and just tried to understand how to still keep connections alive while being isolated and not necessarily in community. So how do we still relate to ourselves and to others and to the global collective, amidst like the changing landscape of society? So that's what the book is split into, is three parts or three portals. So the first portal is about your relationship to yourself and how to really uncover your truth, um and like Emma was saying, psycho-spiritual cleanup. So how do you like take away all the layers that aren't you and things from childhood or conditioning, and really shine through. And then the second portal is about relationship to others and how to navigate conflict and heartbreak and be a witness for each other. And then our portal 3, we asked people in our collective, what does collective liberation look like? And we had them submit artwork and pieces of writing to illustrate what they believe collective liberation looks like. And so there's different prompts in the workbook and activities and resources. So it's been a labor of love. It's definitely helped us navigate our own relationships and keep them intact, which is cool. It's been very useful for us in our dynamics. So we're grateful to share it with the world now. And we're
Warriors late.
going to, yeah, like things take their own time, but it's definitely been a labor of love in a true test of wisdom and a test of like, does this actually work? So we're gonna be reading today from one of our excerpts, and that's from our conflict conversation that we had on Halloween back in 2020 in Denver, Colorado. And we recorded it. It's very silly. And it was in the midst of us having a dance party. So we translated it and put it in text form. So that's what we're going to be reading today.
Happy Halloween. I hope you feel the vibe. Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. We're recording. Welcome to the wild ride. Welcome to a place where we can be free.
First up, we have Miss
Cowgirl Alien Witch, also known as Rachel.
Up next on the Wild Ride Collective, we have
Maji Rojo.
also known as
Emma Fox, what's up?
featuring Aki, also known as Lieutenant Aki. So tonight, it's a beautiful night. It's October 31st, Halloween, and it's a full moon, blue Taurus moon.
We out here in this full moon energy. The ancestors are with us. They came out from the other side. Yeah, they look so good.
So we're obviously tapped into source energy right now.
Can you feel that from the airwaves? Call us up. Tell us what you're up to.
Oh, sorry. Anybody got a question they want to ask?
Yes. I would like to know, how do you deal with conflict and what does that mean?
Wow, I'm so glad you asked. I've been thinking about that a lot. There's a lot of conflict out there in the world, and we have to figure out how to deal with it in a more effective way.
So, what is the more effective way, cowboy alien witch?
I think honesty, radical honesty, knowing ourselves. So we know what we're being influenced by and what's really true for us.
Psycho spiritual cleanup. Oh, I'm also reading another part. What's more important than knowing yourself is also loving yourself, because you can't love other people until you love yourself. So that's like the major part. So we can stop the hate.
So what do you think the relationship is between knowing yourself and loving yourself?
Well, knowing yourself is just like knowing what you want, knowing what you like, knowing what you need. I can know that I like you. I can know that I like spaghetti, but that doesn't mean that I love myself. You know what I mean? It's about practicing unconditional love with self. It's realizing that even though we have flaws, we're still beautiful. We can still be compassionate towards ourselves and towards others. We can still radiate that sense of positivity, care, and compassion for other humans and animals alike.
That was Miss Redacted, everyone.
Don't be using my government name.
Oh, that was Ms. Hard Eyes emojis. We redact that statement. All right. Does anyone else have thoughts on conflict?
I have some thoughts.
All right, let's hear it, Maji.
Well, I called out earlier that something you were speaking to sounded like something we talk about a lot on this wild ride, which is psycho spiritual cleanup.
PSCU,
Yes,
PSCU.
yes, see.
And what about it?
Well, it sounds like what you were talking about is having this, oh yeah, having this
We're having a dance party right now.
talking about conflict while shaking your ass. That's how we do it here.
That's how we heal.
I was gonna say it's a form of healing. Yeah, it is. Okay, so psycho spiritual cleanup. You said something about how you gotta know.
What it is you inherited versus what is your truth, what's actually happening.
Yes, okay. And so in conflict, oftentimes you have to practice that discernment, right? You've got to know, am I feeling a disagreement because it's not in alignment with something I've inherited, or is it because it's not in alignment with my truth? So you have to discern, you have to know yourself, and you have to love yourself. You have to be in alignment with your truth to say, no, actually, what you're saying isn't my truth. And also, another thought I have is that conflict is the ultimate relationship builder. And I think that a lot of people, white women especially, have been conditioned to believe that conflict is a relationship ender. It's not. It's actually this vulnerable moment where you get to see a difference and try to understand and negotiate that difference to become closer to each other.
Mic drop. Thanks, Maji. That also reminded me that when others have pointed out things in me that I wasn't aware of, it feels really hard because I don't want to see those things. But it also feels like an act of love because that person is really seeing me enough to show me a way that I could grow. And it's like, I don't want to. But yeah.
Resistance to your own growth.
Shout out to my love. Thanks, man, for pointing out my hangups. Appreciate it. All right, someone take the mic.
Yo, what's up? All right. Yeah. So conflict. I know this one well because I've been afraid of conflict. I've been afraid to hurt myself. I've been afraid to hurt other people's feelings. So I've kept my truth from coming up because I'm like, damn, I don't want to hurt my friends by speaking my truth. But what I've learned is if you don't speak your truth, well, that's going to hurt you and the person regardless. So speak your truth, figure out ways to say it in a respectful or compassionate way, honor your intention. Your intention is just to speak your truth. It's not to disrespect the person. It's just like, if someone hurts your feelings, say, yo, that hurt my feelings. Don't do that again to me. That hurt. And that's not disrespectful to the other person. And if they're an intelligent being, they'll recognize that. So just speak your truth. It's a process because I'm learning how to do it myself. It takes practice, but honor what you feel in the moment. And if something's not okay uh with you, say it's not okay with you.
Consent culture.
Consent. And that's how we'll balance society. Women have been taught to be really kind and obedient and just silent. Do what you're told, be a good girl, but that's not helping the masculine. And that's why we're in this position. The toxic masculine has been like, okay, I can do whatever I want. And it's like, no, no, actually, this is hurting the children. This is hurting our country. This is hurting the world, and it's not okay. It needs to stop. And it takes our voices, our feelings, our truth to come out and voice this. And it's just that time, y'all. So speak your truth.
Activate your truth.
Activate your truth.
It's just that time.
Know what time it is. Prophetic praxis, radical dharma.
You know what time it is. Let's get it, y'all.
Yeah, 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 inaudible. There you have
That
it,
was
folks. There's an excerpt from our upcoming book. That was really fun to read through. And
definitely more silly portions because we get a lot very deep in a lot of the other sections. And we got deep in this one too, but it was definitely more silly.
this is for sure the most playful of the conversations we recorded for the relationship portal.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more where that came from.
Yeah.
Go to wildridecollective.org to
Yeah,
pre-order your copy.
you can pre-order a book now. We're in the final stage of getting the books printed, so visit our shop on our website to get a pre-sale. The books should be available by the holidays. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Happy Halloween.
Happy
Thanks.
Halloween.
It's spooky.